I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's not just me saying this. There are also other male role models saying the same thing. Women, when involved in dating and marriage, women are to be submissive to their husbands. And what women are doing essentially toward us men is they are pushing forward to be the man in the relationship, while the man is the stay-at-home mum. And yet these same women cry, bitch, moan, beg and plead when the time of ours that they waste may give them a couple of brownie points here and there, but does it actually in fact get us? No. We're still single, and to be perfectly honest with you, we are getting extremely frustrated with the way that we're being taken advantage of. And it's only going to get worse for you women out there, like I said, because the more of our precious and valuable time that you waste by playing these games in the first place, your dating market is going to dry up faster than the Safari Desert. Thus actually, in fact, leaving no men on the market for you whatsoever. So, what good is it actually doing you, wasting our time, trying to get inside our heads and switch gender roles upon us? It's going to get you nowhere. And like I said, that our time that you waste is only being added onto your lifespan. So you need to leave us well alone, stop wasting our precious and valuable time, and quit while you're ahead. What did you think was going to happen? What, you play these games, let's say you succeed in many ways, you weaken a man down, congratulations, well done. Now what? Do you think he's actually going to submit to you? No. Get the fuck out of here. You're deluded, you're brainwashed and conditioned. And we're not giving our power up to no one. And yet we're to be patient, we're to be all of these other things, when having even our time wasted by the opposite sex that think they can play these games, that think they can, attempt and emasculate men, only to then trap them within relationships, marriages later on, that aren't even going to last anyway. And you have the audacity to cry onto us when your lives aren't actually, in fact, going the way that you had hoped. And what do you want? Gold medal? You're not going to get it. Not from me. Nor any of the other guys that you do this to. All you're going to get, essentially, is a sand grain sized breadcrumb. And that, right there, is the size of your dating market right now. There's only one winner, like I said, right here, right now, and it is us men. Because the more, like I said, bullshit that you put us men through, the more of us men are going to walk away, and we're going to leave you fending for yourselves. Let's see how strong and independent you really are. And stop wasting our time, like I said, when your lives actually, in fact, crash above your heads. Because we're not saving you. We're not interested. We are not interested. And do you really think for 1 minute that we're going to settle for somebody that's been passed around more times than, I don't know, a kebab, within a drunken group? No. you're in denial, like I said. You're extremely brainwashed and deluded if you think that we're going to settle for someone that's had a pasty smashed, so many times by however many men. You're batshit crazy if you think for 1 minute that that is actually in fact going to work. And like I said, you are making this all the more difficult for yourselves by putting us men through this in the first place. Like I said, you might have your victory wins here and there when it comes down to trying to weaken us down. But we still have power and control over the whole dynamic. Because the more you play these games, like I said, involving us men and our psychological and spiritual health, the more we have the power to walk away. And it's only going to get worse, like I said, for every one of you women out there. Excluding, like I said, the feminine, females, that is. It's only going to get worse for you. It's not going to get worse for us. So, like I said, you keep on crying, with your tails tucked between your legs. And stop wasting our time. Because, like I said, nobody wins either way. No matter how, how you look at it, no one wins. You don't win for playing these games in the first place, and we don't win because we're still single. And if anything, we're getting all the more frustrated and pissed off with you women in the first place by pulling these bullshit stunts, thinking you're smug, thinking you're cool, thinking you're funny, convincing yourselves that we are actually in fact going to jump to your beck and call. No, it's the other way round. You're jumping to our beck and call. We are the head, and we are the leader. And that is not, and I mean not, going to change anytime soon. So to you fellas out there that have actually been unfortunate, to undergo, similar situations as to myself at the minute, keep on walking away. Keep on remaining single. Since they're strong and independent and need no man, fuck them off. Quite literally, brush them off. They're not worth it. They're not even worth it. Let them struggle. Let them cry. Let them bitch. Let them moan. Let them complain unto God and blame God for everything. Because like I said, the more of your precious and valuable time that they waste, like myself, it's only being added onto their lifespan, thus actually in fact making them all the more undesirable and all the more unattractive to us men. And even if, let's say, by, let's say that you were unfortunate to be emasculated somehow, but yet you still have the power and control to remain single and not jump to these broads beck and call even. Remain single. It's only going to get more frustrating for them when they begin to realise that all of their efforts were wasted. They were for nothing. Because like I said, our time that they waste by playing these games, it's only going to catch up to them, because more and more men are going to walk away and they are virtually going to be left, like I said, with a dating market the size of a sand grain breadcrumb, with virtually no options, nothing. And this is what happens when you take advantage of men, thinking that you're smart, thinking you're intelligent by playing these games in the first place. See, men, I don't give a shit to what anyone says, because I will tear through you online with sound biblical scripture, and I will have you look a fool for even trying to waste my time with your lies and deception. Biblical manuscripts evidently prove that as men, we are the head and we are the providers. We are the head, we are the protector, we are the provider of any given marriage. And yet what these broads are trying to do is essentially weaken men down and then get us to lock them down within a marriage. This is, like I said, a whole other level of delusion on their behalf. So women, like I said, stop wasting our time. Because it's only going to get all the more difficult for you out there. It's not going to get difficult for us. You're not entitled to what we have to offer. And you never will be. And any man, like I said, within his right frame of mind, isn't going to settle for some woman, like I said, that's been smashed more times than a banger vehicle on a racetrack, when he can actually in fact settle for a young, youthful, feminine woman that so happens to be very fertile. It is what it is. Common sense really, fellas, isn't it? What are you going to settle for? Are you going to settle for some battered and bruised, haggard old has-been, you know? Or are you going to settle for a younger, feminine female? Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. And if you've gone with the first option, then congratulations. You've technically given all of your power away to the opposite sex. You are a blue pill. Technically speaking, you are her bitch. And like I said, if you fellas happen to choose the second option, even displaying, I don't know, let's say, some form of emasculation, you know, behavioural patterns, yet you still are in control and in power of the whole dynamic. Remain single. It's the only way you're going to survive this dog-eat-dog world. Let these broads fail, like I said. Let them go around acting like men. And never, and I mean never, in a million years, take any of them back. Let them reap what they sow. After all, they're men, right? This goes for the police forces and the army. You know, if the army happen to have women that go around acting like men, okay, well, if you're a man, let's see how strong and independent you really are. We're going to put you on front line where it's the most bloodiest and hideous, where I can guarantee you your lives are going to get snatched via a bullet. Let's see how big and hard you are then. It's the same with the police force, man. You know, you women go around acting like men within the police force. Alright then. If that's the case, put these said women within a group of testosterone-driven men with enough strength to quite literally take out an entire field of rugby trainers. How about that? Put these said women within that type of situation. Let's see how strong and independent they are. Guaranteed, they're not going to last a millisecond. Because they will have their lives snatched out of them. Like that. Without a moment's hesitation. So from now on, like I said to you fellas out there, if women are actually treating you this way, and if they're trying, like I said, so hard to emasculate you in the attempt that you will then jump to their beck and call and take them on after being passed around by every Tom, Dick, pun intended, and Harry, then, like I said, treat them like men, innit? Treat them like men and don't look back. Because I could see it within their eyes. They're already beginning to cry like the weaklings. They really are. They can't take the pressure. Whereas us men, on the other hand, we could take whatever they throw at us. And the funny thing about this, the humorous thing about this, we can heal from it. and we can rebuild from it. They can't, and they never will. So it just goes to show really who the real winner is when involving the dating market. Women hold the keys to sexual contact, right? Us men, on the other hand, we hold the keys to marriage. And ironically, women have this mindset of, oh, it's okay, I can sleep around with however many men I like, and then try to convince the biblical traditional guy, as to why he should choose me, when it's never in a million years going to happen, no matter how hard you try. And, you're wasting your time, like I said. And in the long run, you're wasting our time.